Introduction. Consumer behavior refers to the action of the consumers who are actively involved in the acquisition, use and disposal of economic products and services, as well as decision-making processes that precede and determine this action. Moreover, the law of demand is a theory of economics that determines the demand for commodities at the set price. According to law of demand, the price of the item and the quantity desired are inversely related. When the price of an item rises, demand of the goods will drop. When there are a lot of people buying the goods, the demand will increase, but when the consumer do not buy any goods, the demand will decrease. There are a lot of factors that influence the demand, such as income.
Now I will continue the presentation, which the title is Respondent Background. Demographic information of 12 respondents based on gender, ethnicity, and age was collected. A total of 12 respondents were interviewed. The first one is respondent background based on gender. Based on this simple pie chart, the majority of respondents are female, which is 7 people, while male respondents recorded a total of 5 people. The percentage recorded was 58.30% for female respondents and 41.70% for male respondents. Overall, female respondents were more numerous than male respondents. Next is respondent background based on ethnicity. Based on this simple pie chart, a total of 50%, which are 6 respondents, are Chinese, and a total of 50%, which are 6 respondents, are Malay. None of the respondents are Indian or others. Lastly is respondent background based on age. Based on this simple pie chart, there are 4 groups of respondents who are in the age of 30 and below, 31 to 40, 41 to 50, 51 and above. The majority of respondents' age are between 30 and below, which are 8 respondents. 1 respondent aged between 31 to 40, which is 8.30%, and 3 respondents aged between 41 to 50, which is 25%. There is no respondents that is aged between 51 and above. Thank you. Now, I would like to share about what I had learned from this assignment. The first thing is discretionary income. We all know that discretionary income is what's left over after paying necessities out of your disposable income, like rent, healthcare, and transportation. Hence, consumer discretionary income will increase when consumer income increases. Next thing is, other than price, consumer behavior also affected by other factors of demand, such as social factors, cultural factors, personal factors, and economic factors. Other than that, I have also learned that online purchasing brings a lot of benefits to consumer, such as easy price comparisons, better prices, more convenience, and it saves time. Furthermore, I have gained an understanding of theory law of demand. When price of goods decrease, demand of the goods will increase. Lastly, I have learned about the substitution of a product. If the price of one product rises, the demand for the other product rises, since consumers will prefer to pay a lower price if the utility derived is almost the same. Thank you.
I will be presenting the statement 1 with the statement that I prefer to purchase good or product depending on their brand. From the table of statement 1, there are 7 respondents prefer to purchase goods or product depending on their brand. There are also 3 respondents maintain a neutral stand on this statement. There are 1 respondent strongly agree on this statement and 1 respondent disagree on this statement. There are no respondents who strongly disagree on this statement. Since 7 respondents agree and strongly agree with this statement, we can say that more than half of the respondents prefer to purchase good or product depending on their brand. Assuming both choices are in their best condition, the results show that more respondents are willing to purchase a goods or product depending on their brands. Based on the law of demand, if the price is the same, the respondent preference will make the demand change. This survey shows that most of the respondents will choose their preference brands. They may choose the brand that they bought before or saw in the advertisement. From the article on the website written by German P, consumers want comfort, happiness, and satisfaction in their life, and they get it in part through the product they buy. If the brand they use constantly deliver a positive experience, consumers form an opinion that the brand is trustworthy, which gives them peace of mind when buying. We can conclude that the impression of the brand will change the demand of the product. Throughout this group project, I learned what is the main factor that really influences the consumer demand behavior. From the project, I noticed that the good price and brand will affect the consumer behavior. Other than that, the consumer income also will affect their decision. From the project, I know that the ordinary utility refers to the value or satisfaction a buyer can get from a product or service. So, from the result of the survey, I noticed the consumer are more willing to purchase goods that will cheaper price and the brand that they have good impression on.
Consumer choice based on income. Income is defined as entity, consumption and saving potential during a certain time period, which is usually stated in monetary terms. In consumer theory, consumer who more money have more purchasing power has more opportunities to spend on increased goods. So we choose this statement from questionnaire. If my income increased by 30%, I will purchase good A. Based on graph, respondent who felt agree is a 4 respondent and state the higher, while disagree and strongly disagree have no respondent. We can see that the relation between income and good A is a positive because when consumer income increase, so the quantity of good A also increase. As consumer choice based on price, the statement we choose is if the price of good B rise up by 50%, I will purchase good A. So we can see that the high respondent choose strongly agree with a 6 respondent. According to Sos Nicholson and Cindy 59, consumer always look at the price of product before they are making any purchase decision. So that's why our respondents have to make their decision either to buy a good A or good B because the lack of income. So the reflection from me is what I learned from this group project. Consumer will make purchasing by their own experience and knowledge, which is based on branded good, income and price. And from this group project also helped me to understand the mindset of the consumer. That's all from me.
Lastly, conclusion. In conclusion, when many individuals purchase things, the demand increases. Nevertheless, when consumers do not purchase any items, the demand decreases. From the surveys, we can see if branded goods have a good impression on the consumer, it will decrease the demand of the goods, and the demand curve of the goods will shift to the right. We can see that people can increase their purchases of goods when their income rises. However, that most respondents wouldn't buy the goods when the price was higher, even though it's a branded good. We can conclude that most of the respondents will purchase more when the price of the goods decreases. Reflection. I think that we need to learn about consumer behavior because it has a lot of importance. This is a primary importance of consumer behavior, and it implies that all production rules have been established with the consumer preference in mind so that the product must be successful in the market. This is the second importance of consumer behavior, and it indicates that consumer behavior might aid in understanding the influence of price on purchasing. When the price is moderated to low and increasing, number of consumers will purchase the goods.